Welcome in. Welcome in. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. It's time for the ride and chat. We're going to have a nice conversation today. And it doesn't necessarily have to be about our WhatNot business. So jump in the poll. Hello, hello. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome in, everybody. I need to clean these glasses. Welcome in, welcome in. Seems dark in here. I guess because it's dark outside, or kind of hazy and overcast outside. Good morning, y'all. Welcome in, welcome in. We're going to get our bodies moving and we're going to talk about some things. All right, we're going to talk about some things. This morning is all about mindset. It's all about mindset. And I can't take credit for um, this presentation, if you will, the conversation starter that I'm going to have. It is from a chat that was provided by Sugar Hill Market. So let's give some people some time to get in. Let me share the show out really quickly. Let me see. Da, 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 da. Let me just get some shares out. What am I doing? Give me just a second, you guys. Let me just get this together. Oh, up to 5. Okay. All right. Let me go ahead and get that shared. All right. Now, today, you all welcome in, welcome in. Today, we are going to talk about mindset. We're going to talk about mindset. Jump in the poll if you can. Jump in the poll. Give me some feedback on what your thoughts are, where your mindset is, and how you just think about your planning, whether it be business planning, life in general, travel planning, whatever, just let me know. Let me know where we are. Let me know where we are. And that way I will know where to go. Good morning, Andrew. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome in. Welcome in. Good morning, everybody. We will go ahead and get started. I don't want to prolong it. So we will go ahead and get started. Hopefully, our friends will join us a little later. But one of the things that I like to do is I'm always looking to learn something and I study other things, right? So, one of the things that I was watching, I love watching community shows that really teach about business building and the psychology behind a lot of things. And I appreciate those things because my background is in education. So I guess I'm a lifelong learner. Now, I was watching CG Boomerang the other day, and she was talking about there's a raid train that Blasian Bunny sponsors, and it's a seller support raid train. And her theme is better together. So she features these sellers every month, I think is whenever she sponsors the train. But she features these sellers that give feedback about building your business or the types of things that you can do. If you're a new seller, established seller, whatever, they give their perspective about um, what has helped them. And so, good morning, everybody. And so, I was listening to her, and she talked about someone in particular. All right. And we're going to tag her in a little while. And I asked her if it was okay to use her notes to talk about what she talked about. Good morning, Kevin. How are you, friend? Oh, did you see my message? I hope you did. I hope you did. Thank you so, so much. Good morning, everybody. So, Sugar Hill Market in the seller support raid train gave a great talk on, and I'll give you the title of it, It was on the Millionaire Mindset. Put a Y in the chat if you've read that book. The Millionaire Next Door, The Millionaire Next Door, or The Millionaire Mindset. There were two. But that's what her whole chat was about. So I'm going to tag her in a minute, but I have, oh, thank you. I have her permission to use her notes, and I will tell you where to get the notes if you're interested. Okay. Essentially, she talks about building a business that buyers never want to leave. Okay. So that changes our mindset a little bit right there. We're building a business that buyers never want to leave. Y'all, please jump in the chat so I kind of know where to go. Okay. Um, Now, let me give you a little background about Sugar Hill Market. Her name is Christine. She's actually on right now. Okay. Her name is Christine. And in fact, let me go ahead and tag her because I want everybody. Hey, Tia. Hey, Rebecca. I want everybody to give her a bookmark and a follow. Sugar Hill Market. She's a Swedish. She's usually not on early. And she is the unapologetic sugar pusher, candy pusher. Why can't I get her? Hold on 1 second. Let me try to tag her. And then I'll get back to saying whatever she said, okay? I know. Sugar Hill. And there may be an underscore that I'm missing, but I don't think so. Nope. Okay. I'll have to tag her a little later. If anybody can tag her, I would appreciate it. I can't find it right now for some reason. Okay, but anyway, her name is Christine, and this is her background, just to give you a framework of where she's coming from. Okay. So her journey to whatnot did not begin on, or her journey to entrepreneurship, I should say, did not begin on whatnot. She's been an entrepreneur long before that. She also has her degree, her bachelor's in business administration, and her focus was entrepreneurship and small business management with a minor in marketing because she's always been fascinated with what it takes to build a business. Yes, can you put the at sign in front of her? Yep, Sugar Hill Market. Please bookmark and follow. Bookmark and follow Sugar Hill Market. She's amazing. So she tells her story, and here's the thing that got me going. These are the things she's passionate about: entrepreneurship, branding, the customer experience, and helping others build businesses that are profitable. Good morning, Julicious. Hello, hello. Welcome in, y'all. All right. So, what she said is one of the major things, and we've talked about this before, one of the major things that determines your success is right up here. It's your mindset. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you can't, you're right. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Coastal says, for some reason, it won't me. Okay, it won't let you tag her. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Thank you. I appreciate you trying. Thank you so much. Um, so this is very interesting to me. Now, y'all, if you all haven't answered the poll, please do get in the poll. Get in the poll. We're going to talk about a couple of characteristics that shifts our mindset from a business owner or a hobby owner. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you. I appreciate you. Okay, a couple of things to think about. And please get in the poll if you haven't. This is why I'm asking those questions. Number one, the biggest difference between building a business versus building a hobby isn't intelligence. It's not luck. It's not even how much money you started with. Okay. It is how you make decisions. All right. So, someone with a millionaire mindset asks, how do I build an asset? Someone treating a business like a hobby asks, how do I stay busy? Remember our conversation last week when we talked about the different tasks, if they were revenue generating and how much time we were spending on things that were not revenue generating. Okay. Key differences. A millionaire thinker builds systems. What systems do we have in place? Y'all put things in the chat. Okay. I want this engaging. So please put things in the chat. The millionaire thinker builds systems. The hobby business owner relies on themselves for everything. Put a one in the chat if you can identify with building systems. Put a two in the chat if you're more, you do everything yourself. And I can say honestly, for me, I think I'm building systems and I do everything myself. Okay, good. We've got some twos and some ones. We've got a two, we've got some ones. Good. Good, good, good. Yes, yes. I have a system, but I'm the one doing the whole system. So if I stop, the system stops. Okay. Something to consider. The millionaire thinker tracks numbers obsessively. We've talked about that too, looking at our analytics, which analytics are important to us. And that may vary from time to time. The hobby business owner goes by feelings. Okay. You're the same. My wife's in charge of shipping. I'm the seller. So you really have a system. Yes, that makes sense. You have a system. I love that. I love that. The millionaire thinker thinks in terms of years. The hobby business owner thinks in terms of days or weeks. Which do you identify with? Number one, you think in years. Number two, you think in days or weeks. Let's drop it in the chat. One or two. One or two. Okay. In days. Okay. Okay. The millionaire thinker, you want to be one. Yes. I want to be one too. But I'm probably more of a two because I'm trying to figure this out. Weeks with the economy. I love that. Hey, faithfully created. Good morning, friend. Good morning. Good morning. All right. And that makes sense. Maybe we could talk about that a little bit, Jewelicious, because with the economy shifting, excuse me, and how it has shifted, there may be a way to still think strategically long term with making adjustments short term. Remember, we always are prepared to pivot. So that's just a suggestion. Maybe we can talk about that a little bit. You've got my brain rolling. All right. So the millionaire thinker invests in growth, invests in growth. The hobby business owner sees every expense as money lost. Are you a one or a two? One or a two? I know I've missed some things. Yep. Yep. That's me. Yeah. Yep. I'm both. Yes. Yes. Invest in growth and sees every expense as a loss. Yes. We a 1.5 faithfully. Okay. Option C. I love that too. Y'all, it's hard when we for me, I can say it's hard when we invest in sourcing our products, right? Your wife does that, yeah. It's hard when we invest in our product and we sometimes see it sell for a loss. But remember, number one, if we're just starting a business, how long does it typically take for your investment to see a return when you're starting a business? How long does it take? Let's just be real. How long does it take? If it's truly a business for us, right? If it's a hobby, we don't want to lose money. But if it's a business, how long does it take? Yes, Andrew said it. I feel you give it, it will eventually come back to you. Absolutely. It takes the latest statistics have been 2 to 5 years for a business to actually see a return on their investment. So when you actually look at all of your expenses compared to your time, all of the other things, it typically takes a few years to see that return and be truly, truly profitable out of the red into the black. Okay. So sometimes, and I have these conversations with my friends all the time, because I'm trying to figure it out, of course. Um, yes. So when we're establishing ourselves. What do we want to be known as? If we give up X, how will it return in Y? Not tomorrow, not next week, but let's say the end of the quarter, let's say the end of the year. It's just something to consider, to think more strategically about it. All right. The millionaire thinker solves bottlenecks. The millionaire thinker solves bottlenecks. The hobby business owner accepts chaos as normal. Y'all put in the chat if you're one or two. I'm a two. I'm a two. I have normalized the chaos. Okay. I'm a two. I'm just being transparent. I am a two. I'm working on that. I am a two. Yes, I am a two. A 1.5 there? Yes, good, 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 good. Maybe I can work towards a 1.5 and eventually get to a one. Oh my gosh. Faithfully says she's negative 0.99. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my gosh. Julicia said recently many buyers are resellers seeking good deals with rising inventory costs. I'm pivoting. Julicia, you and I need to talk, girlfriend. Me too. And I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. Peace be still. Get out of here, girl. Yes, yes, yes. We were just talking about the other day, and Urban Merchant says that may be true and helps if, okay, hold on one second. That may be true and helps if we are in it to break even, but why spend all their money and time to make your money back if you've lost time? Now, urban merchants, great point. Might as well exchange it for labor and get a job. What's your time frame that you're measuring for that? What's the time frame that you're measuring for that? That leads to a great discussion. What's the time frame that you're measuring for that? Give me a time frame. Because I agree, long term, why would you do that? That's truly, truly a hobby. That's truly a hobby. There's nothing, labor and real job sucks. Oh, Andrew. So urban merchants, give me a time frame. Give me a time frame because I want to talk about that. Okay. Um, the millionaire mindset protects their time. We've talked about that ad nauseum. Yeah, right. Even 5 years. I agree. I think realistically for me, 2 to 3 years, if I haven't figured it out to be profitable, it's not worth it to me. But I think about it as building a house, right? You start with your foundation. You spend a lot of money paying for trees to be removed, paying for dirt to be leveled. Oh, 10 years, pack it up. Yeah, now, I'm not even going that long, but yeah, I agree. You have to track those numbers and understand what you're doing and have, even if it's just a plan overall, have some type of idea how to track what you're doing. I think one of the hardest things with this business too, if we're just talking, one of the hardest things about this is I'm specifically talking about WhatNot. The barrier to entry is low. I mean, you sign up to be a seller, and lo and behold, thank you so much for the follow. You sign up for a seller, and lo and behold, you can go live and sell. Okay. So there's nothing that you have to do to be prepared for that. Number two is you have a lot of times you have people who are buyers initially and they've bought so much. I'm one that they come in. Uh-oh. They come in and they just want to sell their inventory. My iPad is tripping. Okay. They want to sell their inventory. So they become sellers. And we all know that the grass is always greener on the other side, right? When you work hard and you make it look easy, you've done an amazing job because we know it's not easy. It's a lot of work that goes into it. So we know it's not easy, right? So you think about that sweat equity. and what has to happen and how long you have to, not even how long, but strategically how you develop as a seller and what your goals are. Once you start selling, if it's just to get rid of some stuff, get rid of the stuff and be done with it. But if you truly want it to become a business for you, there's certain structures that you have to have in place. And there have to be certain goals and certain price points and certain margins where you do decide if I haven't been able to figure it out by X date, I'm going to find something else to do, just like you would with any other business that you started, right? We don't keep letting the business bleed. We pivot, we try something else, we measure those results, and we make some informed, data driven decisions. Julicia said, it took me months before I started selling on here. I was watching to learn and trying to figure out sourcing and branding. Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely, $1 starts kill me sometimes. Okay, great point. Andrew, do you start everything at a dollar or do you pick certain shows? Do you have dollar starts for certain shows? Tell me more about that. I definitely want to talk about that. Hey, Kay Hutchins. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, the millionaire, and answer the poll, you all, answer the poll. The millionaire creates repeat customers. The millionaire chases repeat customers. The hobby business owner chases a one time sale. The millionaire focuses on profit. The hobby business owner focuses only on revenue. That's where I was getting before and lost my train of thought. Sometimes with WhatNot, because as you know, once you hit 1,000 sales, you have instant payout. It's easy. It's easy to confuse revenue with profit. You see money coming in, and you can see a lot of money coming in. And if you are not tracking well, you think you've made money and you haven't. Revenue is not the same as profit. My lowest starts are 3. I watched and learned that it is not worth going lower than that. Tell us more, Julicious. I want to have that conversation. Tell us more. I've been hearing different frames of thought about that. And Julicious, when you do your $3 starts, are they $3 starts throughout or are they variable start prices? Uh-huh. Yeah. So Andrew was thinking about doing something similar until they grow. Yeah. Yep. Urban Merchant said exactly. Yeah, so let me know when your items are $3, are they across the board or do you have variable sales, variable start prices? That's something that I'm struggling with right now. That's something that I'm struggling with right now. So I'm very interested in your input. So the millionaire delegates. The millionaire delegates. The hobby business owner tries to do everything personally. I'm guilty. I'm guilty. It's just me. So I'm guilty. I'm guilty. My husband said, this is your thing. Have at it. So I've got to figure out some systems there. You all, if you're just joining, I will share with you what I'm doing. We're talking about a conversation that Sugar Hill Market led on a seller support rate train that was hosted by Blasian Bunny. I asked her if it was okay to use her presentation because it was so poignant on everything that we have been talking about the past few years. So if you are not following Sugar Hill Market, please, please, please bookmark and follow her. She is amazing. Her name is Christine. She is an unapologetic sugar pusher, and she's just a ball of energy, but she's sweet and she's brilliant. So y'all, please give her a follow. So let's think about these things. Number one, for the millionaire mind, we want to know our numbers. Okay, this is what I mean when we have to determine, are we generating revenue or are we hey Pal hello. Are we generating revenue or are we earning a profit? Are we turning a profit? And this is what we need to know. A millionaire entrepreneur can usually tell you straight up gross sales, net profit, profit margin, customer acquisition cost. That's where I want to go with the bids. Average order value. Talked about that a couple weeks ago. Lifetime customer value. Ooh. Inventory turnover and cash available. Hey, Dr. Reed, let me you come in. Good morning. Good morning. Hello from Sun. Okay, Julicia says it varies. We're talking about starting bids. It varies by item. I started selling Zara and now have specific buyers like my Heidi J's, Kelsey, etc. Okay, usually sells for more, but they let my customers sit. Okay, but I let my customers sit. Okay, I see what you're saying. Set the tone. I see what you're saying. All right, that makes sense. Okay. Um, Someone running a hobby often says, we're selling a lot, so we must be doing well. You could sell 100 items in a show. Does that mean you made money? Does that mean you made a profit? You generated revenue? Yes. You had a 100% sell through rate? Yes. Did you generate a profit? Are you doing that intentionally to build your audience? Are we taking a loss for the greater good of our long term plan? Revenue alone doesn't build wealth, but profit does. Number two, every dollar has a job. Instead of asking, y'all, I thought this was poignant. Instead of asking, can I afford this? The millionaire will ask, will this create a return? Again, what's the long term plan? Hey, Built to Win, good morning. Good morning, Mom's got the goods. Hello, hello. Good morning, good morning. All right. So, things that work into this: better lighting, a better camera, a better website. Okay. Things that make the experience better for your buyers. All right. You want to spend your money on assets. Okay. Not toys. Y'all get in the poll, get in the poll. So we have 60% of our poll says that they take their business, or which describes you, they take it day by day. So they're more spontaneous people. Okay, so spontaneity leads to more of the hobby driven business owner. All right. Long term strategic planning, of course, leads to that millionaire mindset. All right. And everybody may not want to do this for that reason. We've talked about that too. All right, y'all. Okay, let's see. Millionaires create mindsets. They dislike repeating the same task. If they pack 100 orders, they ask, how can this become easier next week? So they'll create standard operating procedures, checklists, templates, automation, inventory system, things of that nature. I picked a vibe. So what does that mean? You're just here for the coolness of it all, girlfriend. Oh, you are here for the coolness of it all, but you always have good input. So you didn't pick it just for the vibe. Now, this is my friend that just came back from a whole conference on investing, but she's here for the vibe. Come on now. All right, let's see. The millionaire thinks about scaling. How can I sell 20 more? I called you out. I called you out. How can I sell 20 more? That's what the hobby asks, how can I sell 20 more? The millionaire asks, how can I sell 20,000 more without working 20,000 more hours? They design businesses that can grow. You all, time is the most undervalued resource that we have. Julicia says, that's me. Packing is my downfall, but I have to make sure my packages show that I care. Absolutely. Absolutely. Is there a way to create a system to still give that care and cut down on that time? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe, maybe not. Hey, Chris. All right. Um, Millionaires value time more than money. Y'all, I always say I work full time and I really do enjoy what I do. I just work a lot at what I do. Um, and one of the things that I always say is I have a contract, that little employee employer contract. We exchange money and productivity for time. I don't just give them my time. That's not a hobby for me. They make a hell of a lot of money on me. So we are exchanging money, productivity for time. Hello, somebody. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back, Dr. Reed. We are exchanging money for time. Point blank, period. If I won't show up at my job for free, I'm building this business and I understand that I'm sacrificing with a plan to make money. Y'all, I don't need one more other hobby. I don't need another hobby. Because so I'm thinking about the things that I want to do as I retire. And I'm going to retire in a few years. So I'm kind of thinking in that regard. Now, if I was 10 years younger, this could definitely be a hobby for me because I love it just that much. Mom's Got the Good says, I have trained my son and his girlfriend to pack plants. They do a great job. They make money, and I can send packages without using my time. I love that. You've created a wonderful system. I love that. I absolutely love that. All right, let's see what else is next. You can't create more time. That's why we said earlier that time is your most valuable asset and it's your most unappreciated asset as well. Dr. Reed said, I have folks always reaching out, not just here, for free advice. I'm going to need you to book an appointment. LOL. You got one question for free. Oh my gosh, girl. I don't know what to say. I have no words. You made me speechless on that one, but I understand. I absolutely understand. With your expertise, you exchange your expertise and your time for money. Hello. Good morning, everyday girl. Good morning. Good morning. Time is money. Absolutely, it is. And Julisha said, I understand, which is why I stick to my prices. I also on wait a minute. Okay, you also have 3 shows a week by design. Talk to us more about the 3 shows a week. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Um, the millionaire plays the long game. They willingly sacrifice today's comfort for tomorrow's freedom. Examples, they reinvest their profits. So it may be something that we generate revenue from one show, we go out and reinvest that in more sourcing. Okay. They delay gratification. That's so hard to do in this time of instantaneous world. They build a brand instead of chasing trends. I may be guilty of that. And they focus on customer trust. You definitely want your customer experience to be wonderful because that's what you have. If someone has a bad customer experience, they tell the world. If they have a good customer experience, nobody really knows. But if they have a bad one, they tell the world. So your customer service is one of the biggest forms of marketing that you can do to build that repeat customer. Uh, yeah, I'm riding. Let me see what I missed. Uh, Everyday Girl said, I also looked at your Instagram video and I need a, oh, few tools. She was talking to Dr. Reed. Yes. Y'all follow each other. Follow each other. Hey, Sam. Yes, I'm riding. Yes, I'm riding. I'm sweating and I'm riding, but this is what we do. If it weren't for you all, I would not be riding. So thank you so much. And thank y'all for the share. But thank you for keeping me accountable. Okay. This was easier than walking and chatting. So y'all won't be bouncing all over the place and, you know, be car sick. Um, they solve problems instead of complaining. For every obstacle, the question becomes, what's the solution? Not why is this happening to me? Dr. Reese said, yes, we have to encourage and remind our regulars to place good reviews, even at our clinic, because upset people will definitely talk. Absolutely. Now, one thing I can say, and Dr. Reese, I hope you don't mind, I'm going to use you as an example of this. If you order a package from Dr. Reed, she's going to send you a message and she's going to let you know that your package is shipped. It's a very nice message. Let me know. I'm sure it's a system you copy paste or it's automated in some way, but she's going to let you know that your package has shipped. She hopes you love it, and she tells you about the review. Okay, yeah, of course. So she has a system. It's automated in some way that she has is easy for her to do, but it's that special touch that a lot of people don't do. Okay. And I think it's nice. I think it's nice. Um, Millionaires are obsessed with the customer experience. Y'all, if you just joined me, I'm reading some notes from Sugar Hill Market, who gave a presentation on Blasian Bunny's seller support rate train. And I really liked everything that she said. So I didn't recreate the wheel. I asked her if it was okay to use it. She said it was. And I'll tell you where to get it if you're interested in a copy. So just let me know. All right. Let's say, okay, number 12. Now, this is key. This is key. And Dr. Ree, I'm sure you all heard more about this too. Oh, Blasian Bunny. Let me tag her real quick. Blasian Bunny. Oh gosh. Yeah, I'll tell you where to get it. Hold on one second. I'll tell you at the end of the show. Y'all, I can't tag anybody today. What's Hold on one second. Blasian. There she is. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Okay, let's see. Okay, Mom's Got the Good says, I run a buyer's giveaway every new buyer. I forgot to load the other day, so I sent a note and $5 coupons. They all came back and spent some. Spent some more. Awesome. 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 I love that. Yes, Bunny has good snacks too. And Sugar Hill Market, she does too. Now, if you're a sweets person, Sugar Hill Market is the unapologetic, unapologetic sugar pusher. And everybody loves her sweets. I'm not a sweet person, so I haven't tried it, but I've got to give it a try. Okay. Okay, good conversations. No more giveies. Those notes were a sub. Okay, gotcha. I got you. Okay. Um, da, 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 da. Number 12, millionaires build assets that work while they're asleep. Don't we call that residual income? How are we building? And somebody drop it on the chat. How can we build assets while we're asleep on Whatnot? How can we do that? Somebody tell me in the chat. How can we, specifically on Whatnot, how can we make money while we're asleep on Whatnot? Posting bin items, which I hate to do. I hate listing, y'all. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. And if Ursha Splurge were in here, she would tell you that she has been fussing at me. I absolutely hate creating listings. That's my time. Y'all, I hate it. I just can't stand it. Hey, Savvy D, good morning, sis. In the shop. Yep, putting things in the shop. Hey, Collected Collects, good morning. Good morning. Yep, loading your buy it now. That's how we have to think like that, you all. So guess what? Even though I hate listings, I'm going to be intentional about the things that I put in my buy it now at varied price points. That's my challenge for the week. That's my challenge for the week. I posted some shoes that I wanted to be just for a live, left as a shop bin, and woke up with 2 sales. Now that's selling in your sleep. I love that. Posting on social media with a link to Whatnot. That's a great idea too. That is an awesome idea too. And getting those referral credits as well. That's a win-win for both. They get free money to shop. You get money when they shop. So I love that. I absolutely love that. All right, y'all. Let's see here. Number 13, they embrace the millionaire. They embrace calculated risk. They embrace, yes, got 2 new referrals. Yes, absolutely. They embrace calculated risk. They don't gamble. They evaluate the worst case outcome, the best case outcome, and the probability of success and the potential return. Y'all, I'm not exercising. I forgot to start my Apple Watch. Darn it. Okay. Then they act as if the payoff justified the risk. And that has to be evaluated. That has to be evaluated. So, again, using your numbers to understand exactly where you are and understanding the difference between revenue generation and profit. 14, millionaires continually learn. They're always spending time every week reading books, studying competitors, learning marketing, improving leadership, understanding finance, developing negotiation skills, and we could go more. They feel like education is an investment, it's not an expense. All right. The mindset shift. Okay. The hobby owner asks, what can my business do for me today? The millionaire entrepreneur asks, what kind of business do I need to build over the next 10 years? That's different. I'm definitely not thinking about WhatNot in a 10-year stretch. I'm thinking about it over time, but not that long. So there's some things that I need to shift as well. Good morning, everybody. Um, the millionaire entrepreneur asks, what kind of business do I need to build over the last 10 years? One is focusing on income. One is focusing on asset value and growth. Okay. So, another way to differentiate your thinking and change your mindset shift. Now, specifically on WhatNot, here's the difference between the millionaire mindset versus the hobby seller mindset, specifically on WhatNot. A hobby seller runs shows, a millionaire builds the brand. A hobby seller runs shows, the millionaire brings the brand. Okay. The hobby seller asks, how do I fill my next show? And the millionaire asks, how do I become the first seller people think of when they want to buy candy, when they want to buy skincare, when they want to buy boutique attire, when they want to buy jewelry, whatever it is, you've built your brand. Mindset, yes, ma'am. That's where social media branding comes in. It absolutely does. It absolutely does. And your branding on here. I mean, I think it all works together. Um, and she says that the difference is a normal. The brand has, just like we think about when we think about McDonald's, what do we think about? When we think about Walmart, what do we think about? When we think about Amazon, what do we think about? Very distinct colors and graphics, right? So a brand has consistent colors, a recognizable logo, a recognizable personality, a consistent customer experience, a reputation, and a loyal community. People don't just buy products, they buy confidence. And all of that tied in together builds confidence and builds trust. Okay, it builds trust. One thing about Plant Street that I like is that on your profile, you can post videos and pics. I think it makes it more personable. It probably does. I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. Number two, hobby sellers chase today's sale. Today's sale. Millionaire sellers build lifetime customers, and most sellers celebrate getting a buyer. The millionaire sellers celebrate earning a repeat customer. Imagine someone spends $15. A hobby seller thinks, I made $15. A millionaire seller thinks, if I earn this customer's trust, they might spend $1,500 over the next X amount of years. Again, being forward thinking and again, being forward thinking. Y'all are hilarious. You are absolutely hilarious. Okay. They also ask, how do I make them excited to come back next week? What can I do to make my buyers even more excited so that they come back next week? Number three, hobby sellers focus on winning auctions. Millionaire sellers focus on winning lifetime value. I'm going to say that again. Hobby sellers focus on winning auctions. Millionaire sellers focus on lifetime value because we know that winning one auction is not a success, but having somebody return every week to your show or shows is definitely growing your customer base. Julicious Jim says, yes, I believe I have the branding mastered. Now I need to focus on developing the other traits. I gotcha. I gotcha. And everyday girl said, mm-hmm. Okay. Community becomes a competitive advantage. Number four, hobby sellers react. Millionaire sellers plan. Let's say that one again. Hobby sellers react. Millionaire sellers plan. Okay. I often am very, hey, Helena, I'm often very critical because sometimes I find myself being quite reactive versus proactive. And I always have to check myself and say, wait a minute, what can I do so that this doesn't happen again? And I'll be honest with you, I had a whole conversation yesterday. You know, I bring my work conversations in here, but I had a whole conversation yesterday about, how can I say this? Um, Essentially about a system not being in place and versus proactivity becoming normalized, which I drives me insane. So when you normalize that, that's a hobby. That's not a business. You have to be proactive. You have to be forward thinking and you have to jump ahead of what you foresee to come. Okay. That establishes so much. It establishes the confidence for your buyer. It establishes a better plan for your business. And you're able to understand your numbers and adjust accordingly. And like Ulysses Jim said earlier, particularly in this economy, you have to do that, you guys. You have to. All right. Um, Many sellers decide 5 minutes before going live. Mil- Millionaire sellers have monthly calendars, weekly themes, product launches, holiday schedules, inventory plans, marketing plans, backup plans. And they wonder what they'll sell. They don't wonder what they'll sell. They already know. Okay. They already know. Now, when I plan I'll do pop ups every now and again, but I have my lives planned. And sometimes I'll make a curated show, and other times I'm a random puller. It just kind of depends. So that's something that I need to evaluate and see how I can improve that as well. Okay. Hobby sellers buy inventory, millionaire sellers buy product strategy. So instead of buying what looks interesting, they ask, what's my biggest and highest profit item? What brings in new customers? What gets people bidding? What keeps people coming back? And what increases the average order value? Every profit every product has a purpose. Okay. Um, Now, one thing that I asked a friend of mine or a circle of friends this weekend, we were talking about WhatNot, and I said, "Do you sell? If we're talking about building a business now, if it's a hobby, you sell whatever you like." But the question I had was, and I present it to you: Do you sell what you love, or do you sell what you can make a profit from? Which is it? Answer it in the chat. Mom's Got the Goods says cute plants draw an eye and brings attention to the customer. They're fertilized to keep it alive. There is fertilizer to keep it alive is needed over and over. The fertilizer to keep it alive is needed over and over. Okay. And then Kay Hutchins, I'm sorry, said a combination of both. A combination of both. A combination of both. My folks generally, and this is Julicious, my folks generally, um, my buyers don't compete with each other anymore because they've become friends. Ooh, woo, ooh, that's that's difficult. What's your strategy, Julicious Gems? What are you going to do to kind of change that a little bit? How strategically, how can you get that room to change and that vibe to change? Everyday Girl said the audience changes so much and variety matters with when we shop at the store. That's just so very true. Just like when we shop at the store. Right. Variety does matter. I agree with that. I agree with that. I'm not mad, so I set my prices to make sure I make money. Gotcha. Because you know that they're going to buy it. Yeah. Yeah. You know your audience enough to know that you can start it where you need to They're going to buy it because they're not going to bid against each other. Your profit is set. Gotcha. Hey, Iris Vintage, no friends at an auction. That's right. But it does become difficult when you create that community and your sellers, or sorry, your buyers become friends and they do think they're bidding against each other. Do you just, how do you change the culture of that room? I guess is my question. But I agree, no friends at the auction. But my curated shows, they look forward to. Yes, everyday girl. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I have friends who love to do curated shows, and the audience absolutely looks forward to those. So I think it can work both ways. You just have to develop what works for you and what protects your time. And as Faithfully said, also your peace. But if you're building a business, you may have to give up a little bit of your peace for a little while, but you'll get it back. Okay. Whoa. Mom's Got the Goods says shopping on Whatnot is social shopping. Yep. It's like we used to go to the mall with friends. It keeps them coming. Yeah, I agree with that. That's a very good analogy. I need an assistant too, everyday girl. Excuse me. Julicious Jim said, yes, I know what they want. So I'm also more being more strategic in sourcing. I love that. I love that. That's so proactive. That is so proactive. All right. Hobby sellers think like employees. Millionaire sellers think like CEOs. Employees work in the business, CEOs work on the business. Okay, there's a big difference there. They ask what's broken, what wastes time, what can be improved, what can be automated, what should never happen again. And that mindset compounds over time. Hello, it's a vintage affair. Hello, hello. All right, hobby sellers count followers. Y'all, this is big. Hobby sellers count followers. Millionaire sellers count customers. Savvy D said, working on the business is key. Yes, ma'am. I agree with you. Working on the business is key. Hello, hello, Michaela in Bloom. Um, so would you rather have 50,000 followers or 5,000 loyal buyers? I think that's a rhetorical question, right? Uh, yes, it's ongoing. Happy Wednesday. Hobby sellers chase views. Millionaire sellers chase conversation. Getting 500 people in your room means very little if nobody buys. Instead, ask how many viewers converted into buyers? What was my average order value? How many buyers came back? And how many first time buyers returned? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. Those are business metrics. You can actually measure those things. Look at that data and understand how it relates to your profit. Okay. All right. Hobby sellers compete on price. Millionaire sellers compete on value. Let's dig into that one. I'm digging in for me. I'm being selfish, y'all. Um, Hobby sellers compete on price. Millionaire sellers compete on value. Anyone can lower prices. Very few can increase perceived value. Value comes from, Julicious, I think you said it earlier, amazing packaging, fast shipping, great energy, product knowledge, community, consistency, customer service, and trust. Customers often pay more because they trust the seller. I love that. Hobby sellers fear competition, and millionaire sellers study competition. Instead of saying they're stealing my customers, ask, what are they doing well? What can I learn? What gap are they leaving? Because competition always reveals opportunities. Okay. Number 11, hobby sellers work until exhausted. Millionaire sellers protect their energy. Y'all, that is so hard to do. And we have, particularly as women, it's hard for us to take things in chunks and understand, and their peace, absolutely protecting their peace. It's hard for us to understand that self care is not selfish. You can't fill anybody else's cup or help anybody else fill their cup if your cup is not full. And it's taken me 50 years to learn that. Okay. But I have learned it well. Some of my friends on here can tell you how well I learned it this weekend. Julisha Jim said, "Oh my God, I bought expensive items that looked like they were just thrown into the box. I won't be a repeat buyer after receiving my order." Wow. Good morning, Ursha Splurge. Hey, hey, hey. Yes, y'all know. hmm Me and Michaela in Bloom last night fighting with kids to sleep while nothing to do with the inventory. Oh my God. Oh, yeah. So there were times when I would say, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And I was going to do X, Y, and Z, whether I felt like it, whether I felt it was beneficial to me, whether I felt it was draining, whether it didn't matter. I was going to do it. Mm-mm, not anymore. Not anymore. You all, I've realized, and I keep it at the top of my mind, that I have experienced more time on this earth than I have left to experience. And now I'm focusing on trying to live my best life. I'm trying to live my best life. I still want to be strategic in my business, but not to the point that I'm working myself in the ground. That's not gonna that's not happening because that's not beneficial to anybody. Okay. Hobby sellers spend profits. Millionaire sellers reinvest profits. So the first few years should feel like planting seeds. Instead of buying new cars, luxury items, and vacations, millionaire sellers tend to invest in things for their business: better cameras, better lighting, better shelving, all the things that make your business more functional. Okay. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. All right. Hobby sellers hope, millionaire sellers measure. Hobby sellers hope, millionaire sellers measure. Okay. The number tells a story. Remember that phrase, the devil is in the details? The devil is in the data. So we always on here, we always talk about analytics. We always talk about all the tabs available and the data available in the seller hub. We need to use them and kind of measure where we are. Not kind of, but definitely measure where we are. Invest in college expenses and sourcing. That's right. That's right. That is an investment. That is an investment. All right. Hobby sellers sell products. Millionaire sellers solve problems. What problems can we solve? Okay. For instance, Sugar Hill Market is a candy seller. She sells candy. So her example is people don't buy candy because they need calories. They buy nostalgia. They buy joy. They buy celebration, comfort, gifts, connection, and fun. The product isn't candy, the product is happiness. And understanding this changes how you sell. What are you looking for? Um, you want to say hi to the people? Hi, people. You want to come over here and say hi to the people so you can wave and they can see you? They can't see you. Come over. So you be talking. All right. Hobby sellers think about income. Millionaire sellers think about equity. The biggest difference is mindset. Everybody said, hey, Marcus. Everybody said, hey. I didn't see it though. Did you have it last night? He's looking for his iPad. So, you all, yes, I'll tell him. He's already out now, but I'll tell him. So, y'all, this is just an example of ways to really craft our thinking when we're thinking about our business. I love having these conversations because it really does help me grow. It helps me dig deep and kind of understand better how I'm planning and how to move forward. And I appreciate each and every one of you for always feeding and pouring into me. Because when we have conversations, I take that information and really, really soak it in and think about it. So I always appreciate you, whether it's on a chat, whether we pick up the phone and call each other. I just really appreciate that. And I hope that we continue to build that type of community here because, as many people say, there's enough room at the table, enough food for all of us, so we can all win. Okay. So I love doing these shows. It makes me think about things differently. Um, Having the conversation makes me have more questions or try new things. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Okay. Now, if you all want these notes, good morning. Didn't know I needed that. Hey, hey. If you all want these notes, this was a presentation that Sugar Hill Market did on Blasian Bunny's seller support raid train. Go to CG Boomerang's website, which is boomerangecho.com. Let me see if I can put that in the chat. I don't even know if it'll let me. Hold on, let me stop peddling. Boomerangecho.com. Okay, let's see if it. So go to that website, boomerangecho.com. That is CG Boomerang's website. And you will find a list of resources on there. If you go to the top left waffle, click that waffle, you'll drop down to um, seller support or better together Ray train. Let me see what it says. Oh, I can't get on it on here. It will either say seller support Ray train or better together Ray train. And if you click on that tab, go to the bottom, you'll see presentation by Blasian Bunny. And that's what this is. Okay. It was her presentation for her portion of the Better Together Raid Train. So it just fit into what we've been talking about weekly. I asked her if it was okay to use it. She said it was. So I wanted to go ahead and bring that to you all today. Yes, this is on YouTube. It is streaming on YouTube as well today. Yes. So you all can go back and watch it. You can share it with friends. YouTube is Catches by Kathy. Okay. YouTube is Catches by Kathy. I think I have it listed under my profile as well. So let's review our poll. 65% of us take it day by day. 24% of us think in terms of years. And 12% of us said, I'm just here for the vibe. I love it. So you all, if you all weren't here earlier, essentially what those questions had to do with was your mindset. When we think about our business or anything really in terms of years, we are embracing that millionaire mindset. We're being strategic about what is yet to come. So we understand and we analyze what we have, where we want to be, what we need to do to pivot to achieve those goals. Okay. Taking it day by day lets us know that we're more spontaneous. We're more than likely treating our business like a hobby, which is okay if that's your intention. If we're being more reactive versus proactive, we're more of a hobby seller. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. All about how you want to establish your business. And then those of us who are just here for the vibe, I appreciate you coming. That makes me feel good. So I appreciate you. Anybody have any comments or questions? Please put it in the chat. And we're going to wrap it up here shortly. So I can actually go get showered and dressed and get ready for corporate world today. I appreciate each one of you coming though. And thank you so, so much. Name one thing, if you will, put one thing in the chat that you're going to do differently this week. Thank you, Mom's Got the Goods. I appreciate you. I have to give my credit to Sugar Hill Market though. So it was easy. It was easy. When I heard that, I definitely wanted to bring it here today. Y'all drop one thing, even if it's nothing. If you say I'm not changing anything, just drop nothing in the chat. But drop something in the chat that you're going to change this week. something or nothing that you're going to change this week? Faithfully said nothing. You know what, Faithfully? I am not surprised. I am not surprised. Urge says she's changing her pricing. Okay. We've been talking about that. That's one of my pick up the phone. What do you think about this? She's always challenging me. And I appreciate her so much for doing that too, because she makes me think of things differently and consider different things. She's the one that fusses at me because I hate to post. Everyday Girl said, it's so much to only pick one. Okay, well, that's good to know. It's good to know. You have some options. Oh, I appreciate you too, friend. Um, it's so much to only pick one. That's good. You have some options of things that you can choose to work on. So that's good. That's good. Anybody else want to share? Now y'all are being quiet. Everyday Girl said the mindset, looking at inventory and staying consistent. I love that. I love that. I love that. Hey, Jamie J. Hey, friend. Juliss's Gem says, oh, hold on, y'all. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Organization, put things in the right place after my show. It takes me days to get organized again after a show. Honey, I feel you on that one. I feel you on that one. Absolutely. And then Everyday Girl said hobby versus billionaire. Billionaire. I love that. Mom's Got the Good says, I've been doing so much planning. This week, it will be using restraint on not implementing everything at once. I do love that. I do love that because if you implement too many things at one time, it's hard to measure which change made what difference. So I agree with that. And I'm glad you said that. Take it one thing at a time or measure one thing, change one thing at a time, measure the effects on that so you can see the direct correlation there. It's a Vintage Affair said, defining true value. Ooh, I love that. Speak more on that, Ava. Urge said to Everyday Girl, you have been, yes, Everyday Girl, you have been doing so well with consistency. You really have been. And I love my earrings. I got them yesterday. I love them. Um, okay, Everyday Girl said, I think it's a challenge and I have to maintain. But you can. You can always make a challenge. You can always make a challenge. Y'all, that's one thing that I do want to say. Um, and it's true for me too. Let me not say it's true for me too. Let me say it's true for me. It may not be true for anybody else. So let me talk about me. I used to show up and still do in some instances. I show up more for other people than I do for myself. That's not good. I'm working on that. It's definitely a work in progress and I'm working on that. But I have to show up for me. I have to show up for me. At some point, I have to be accountable to me because I'm the one that's benefiting or hurting for not doing said thing. Okay. So I have to learn and I have to be okay with showing up for myself. I am truly working on that. So Everyday Girl, I may be sitting on your couch because I do need help with that. It is a definite work in progress. Everyday Girl said I do a lot of planning ahead. Um, Savvy D said, start with why, my purpose and brand. I love that. I love that. Yeah, you can make your own. Yeah. Okay, it's a vintage affair said price versus value. What exactly is the value of it's a vintage affair to build more trust? Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that. And it's a vintage affair always does beautifully create curated shows and she loves to do it and she does it so well and I'm not your creative friend. I'm not. I'm just not, Urs says I'm creative in other ways and I appreciate her for giving me that credit, but y'all, if you she does beautifully curated shows. Urs does too. So many of you do beautifully curated shows. Y'all, that's not my gift, that's just not my ministry. It just is what it is. So I love the fact that I know that I can go in your shows and I can understand how to wear things differently, how to layer things differently, how to put pendants on scarves and make knots. And Everyday Girl taught me that the other day. No, it's not my ministry, girlfriend. It's not my ministry. We're not even going to play about that. It's not my ministry. This is one of my, this, I will agree. I love doing stuff like this. I love doing stuff like this. I love teaching and learning. And I get to do more learning than teaching. So I love stuff like this. Um, so it's interesting to me that for me, I have to define what, thank you so much, Savvy D. I have to define what continues or what will build value for my customer base when it comes to selling. Okay. And just like this, I was supposed to say, you all, there are things in the bin. If you'd like to take the opportunity to look, I welcome you to take the opportunity to look in the bin. But I've got to build more value in my selling style and my selling strategy. So that's what I'm working on this week. Okay. That's what I've kind of been working on for the past couple of weeks. So more to come on that. But y'all know we'll just keep going. We will keep going. All right, you guys. Y'all want to find somebody to raid? Thank you so very much for joining. You know, I always say mwah, mwah, much love to each of you. I appreciate you more than you know. Thank you, Everyday Girl. I appreciate you. Thank you, Urge. Thank you, Faithfully. Y'all enjoy it too. Hey, Jamie. No, Jamie, go to YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. It's on there. I multicast it. So you didn't miss anything, girlfriend. You can just watch it later today. It takes a little while to process. So it'll probably be up in a couple of hours, but it'll do its own processing since it was live. But you may be able to go there and see it immediately. I'm not sure. For me, it takes a few hours. But thank you guys. Have a wonderful day, y'all. We're going to find somebody to raid. Please put some elephants in the chat when you get there. Let's see. Who can we raid? Let me see if Sugar Hill Market is still on. Hold on 1 second. No, she's gone. Okay. She did a morning show this morning, which is not like her. Let's see if okay. I hate it when this doesn't show me. Okay, we're going to go to TBC Productions today. Y'all, elephants in the chat when you get there. They are a hoot and a half. Lots and lots of energy. So let's give them some love. They have 254 people in their show. And like Dr. Reese said, we're going to take all 16,000 of us and make their day. All right, y'all. Love you so much. Love you so much. Let's go. Elephants in the chat, y'all. Have a great day. Love you guys.